Hello, welcome to your academy. At your academy, in this lecture, we will be dealing with sonnet number 99 from the series of sonnets written by William Shakespeare. Now, this sonnet, that is sonnet number 99, is a unique sonnet. At first place, it is difficult to call it a sonnet because it's not a 14-verse poem. Instead of 14 verses, we have 15 in this particular sonnet. But since it is included in this series of sonnet, which are 154 in number, so we call it a sonnet. But it does not adhere to the tradition or to the principle of writing sonnets, which is that a sonnet is a 14-line poem. It has got 15 lines. Secondly, it deals with theme which would be slightly different from other, and that is, there would be the use of a word thief or theft in this particular sonnet also, or robbery, and he had used these words in sonnet number 35, for example, in sonnet number 40, where he used word robbery for his friend. He used gentle thief, he used sweet thief. Now again he would be coming to that theme of theft, but in this sonnet the theft would not be similar to what he had talked about in 35 or 40, where the theft was associated with his friend, that his friend was a robber, his friend was a thief. It was his friend who had robbed the poet from his beloved or from his poverty, for example, he says. But here in this sonnet, theft is associated with the world, with nature, with flowers. And now the argument that the poet would be making is that all the beautiful things in this world are thieves because they have stolen their beauty, their charm, their fragrance from his friend. That would be the essence of this sonnet. Now, in this lecture, we will explain this sonnet line by line, verse by verse. Let's take up the text first. The forward violet thus did I chide, sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells, if not from my love's breath? The purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexions dwells, in my love's veins thou hast too grossly dyed. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand, one blushing shame, another white despair. A third, nor red nor white, had stolen of both. And to his robbery had annexed thy breath, but for his theft in pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker eat him up to death. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see, but sweeter color it had stolen from thee. That was the text of this sonnet. That is sonnet number 99. In the next section, we will deal with the detailed analysis of this sonnet. Coming to the detailed analysis of sonnet number 99, let's take up the first verse. The forward violet thus did I chide, sweet thief, whence didst thou steal thy sweet that smells? He uses a word chide. Chide means rebuke, dantna. So what I did, I chided violet. Violet is a flower. What did I chide him of? What did I ask him? Arrogantly, oh sweet thief. Now this sweet thief here is not used for his friend, which he has used in sonnet number 35 or sonnet number 40. Here this sweet thief is used for violet. He is asking him, from where have you stolen this fragrance? From where have you stolen this beauty? जरा मुझे बता कि तूने कहां से चुराई ये, कहां से लाई ये? I chided him, I rebuked him to tell me from where had he stolen his fragrance, from where had he stolen his beauty, his color, if not from my love's breath. Have you not stolen it from my friend? Have you not stolen this smell, this fragrance from the breath of my friend? Now, that's very strange. Now, I am reminded of sonnet number 130, where he would be talking about the Darklady. And here and here he says that the breath of his mistress reeks. This is how he would be comparing the breath of his friend and the breath of the mistress. And it's a very strange case in the sonnets of William Shakespeare where, he treats his friend very well, but he does not treat his beloved that well as or his mistress that well, and which was a very, different approach compared to the other sonnetiers of the Shakespeare's times, where, traditionally or conventionally they would be praising their beloved, their female counterpart. But here in this case, William Shakespeare is more interested or more impressed by his friend rather than his mistress. So he says that his friend's breath smells so sweet or has got such a sweet fragrance that even Violet has, taken his fragrance from the breath of his friend as compared to the breath of his, mistress, which actually reeks, which smells very foul. So he asks this Violet कि तूने कहाँ से लाई ये सुनहरी ये प्यारी खुशबू? हाँ, मगर मेरे दोस्त की सांसों से, मेरे दोस्त से तूने ये चुराई है. So I chided him, I rebuked him, I asked him arrogantly कि कहाँ से तूने ये चुराई? अगर मेरे दोस्त से नहीं चुराई तो फिर कहाँ से चुराई? तो जिसका मतलब ये है कि तूने मेरे दोस्त से चुराई है, मेरी दोस्त की सांसों से चुराई है. The purple pride which on thy soft cheek for complexions dwells, in my love's wing thou hast too grossly died. Purple pride. Now again he is, Violet ka charm. He is looking at the charm, beautiful cheek. What he is doing, he is actually personifying this Violet here. And he is asking him, तेरी गालों में जो ये चमक आती है कहाँ से आई है ये? You have dyed them in the veins of my friend. ये सुनहरा रंग जो तेरी गालों पे खिल रहा है कहाँ से आया तेरे पास? मेरे दोस्त से चुराया तूने. Thou hast stolen this beautiful color of thy cheeks from the veins of my friend. Now what Shakespeare, what poet is doing here, he is saying that every beautiful thing in this world is but a reflection of his friend. Or they are thieves, they are sweet thieves who have stolen all these beautiful traits or characteristics from his friend. The lily I condemned for thy hand, and buds of marjoram had stolen thy hair. Lily, another reference to another flower. I also condemned him for his theft, and I also condemned marjoram. Marjoram is a reference to a perennial herb, which is, citrus kind of a flavor. He said that I condemned that also, because that had stolen thy hair. उसने भी जो अपना चार्म, अपनी ब्यूटी कहाँ से चुराई है? तुझसे चुराई है. लिली ने कहाँ से चुराया? तेरे से चुराया. वायलेट ने कहाँ से चुराया? तुझसे चुराया. So all the beautiful things, whether they were violet, it was lily, or it was marjoram, everything had stolen its beauty from you, its beauty from the friend of William Shakespeare. The roses fearfully on thorns did stand. Now again, roses have been, personified, standing fearfully. वो भी घबराए हुए खड़े थे पास में. When I was rebuking Violet, and when I was rebuking Lily, and when I was rebuking other beautiful things of the nature, there stood roses, and those roses were fearful. घबराए हुए थे कि अब हमसे पूछेगा कि हमने ये खूबसूरती कहाँ से चुराई. And why were they fearful? It reflects that even they are the sweet thieves. They have also stolen their beauty from his friend, so that's why they are fearful. He dramatizes this whole scene, whole situation. One blushing shame, another white despair. One is red and one is white. Blushing shame, when someone blushes, his color turns red. There was a rose which was red, there was another rose which was white. So redness of this rose is stolen from my friend, and the whiteness of this rose is stolen from his friend. So even a red rose is a thief, a white rose is a thief, and they have stolen this trait, this characteristic of theirs from home, from the friend of William Shakespeare, from the friend of poet. A third, nor red nor white, had stolen of both. And there was a third rose, who was a mixture of red and white, who was neither completely red nor completely white. Now he had stolen both things from you. So all these beautiful things, beautiful flowers have done what? Have turned out thieves. And they have stolen all their beautiful traits, their fragrance, their color from his friend. And to his robbery had annexed thy breath. But For his theft in pride of all his growth, a vengeful canker eat him up to death. And what have they added up in their robbery? Not only the color, but the fragrance also. Breath here is a reference to the fragrance, as I had said earlier, that the violet had stolen his fragrance from the breath of his friend. And even these roses, they have also added another thing to their robbery. They have not only robbed the color, but also robbed the fragrance from thee. Now, what has resulted in these thefts by these flowers? They have stolen the beauty from you, which you had the copyright. And since they have stolen, so what had they ended up with a canker. तो जब वो पूरे खिले तो एक canker, is a reference to a worm or a tissue or a dead tissue which eats up these flowers. तो वो क्या करता है, वो आके इनको खा जाता है और इनको मार जाता है और अच्छा करता है. He is described as vengeful, vengeful one who takes revenge or destroys something. So this canker turns out to be, say for example, supporter of his friend and an enemy of the roses. And why does he rob them of this? Because he also realizes that this beauty of rose, this fragrance of violet, this beauty of lily is not their own, but is stolen. So if it is stolen, they have got no right to keep it for a long time. So the canker goes and eats them up, kills them. More flowers I noted, yet I none could see. But sweet or color it had stolen from thee. मैंने सारे फूल देखे. I saw all the flowers in the world. लेकिन मुझे कोई नहीं मिला. I didn't find even a single. I didn't find one who had not either stolen color from you or fragrance from you. So anything that is in the world, all the beautiful flowers in the world are the thieves, and they steal their beauty from the friend of William Shakespeare. That is what is the essence of this sonnet. That is what is the theme of this sonnet. The sweet thief here turns all the flowers of the world, and these flowers, are stealing the beauty from the friend of William Shakespeare, and then they say that they are very beautiful. Most of the flowers in this sonnet, whether it is violet or it is lily or it is rose, have been personified from the poet. And as if he is in conversation with these flowers, and he asks them and then tells them that you have stolen everything from my friend. That was sonnet number 99, and it dealt with the theft of the flowers which steal their beauty from the beauty of his friend. That is all we have at Your Academy today. I hope that this lecture was helpful for you and you were able to understand sonnet number 99. Don't forget to share, like, comment and subscribe Your Academy. For more interesting stuff, keep watching Your Academy.